Let's take you live to Chicago right now, where the crowd is starting to fill in the seats. Take a look, folks. This is inside the Convention Center, the United Center. The Democratic National Convention is starting tonight with the big keynote speaker later this evening, President Joe Biden. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are set to accept the party's nomination on Thursday. And WHAS 11 is also in Chicago tonight. On the list of big names tonight, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear. His time on stage is scheduled sometime right before President Joe Biden addresses his party. He's going to be in prime time, which is an important designation. Isaiah Kim Martinez and our senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton are covering the governor in Chicago. And Isaiah, you talked to Andy Beshear just hours ago in a sit-down interview. Any idea exactly when he's going to speak and what he's going to say?
Well, Doug, we're being told right now 9 p.m. Central Time, so that's 10 p.m. for folks there in Louisville and across our viewing area. That's when you'll look for that big time, prime time address. I do want to paint the picture. You mentioned inside the United Center. This is what things look like just outside. We see lines of credentialed people just packing in here. This is the most that we've seen to this point. What a difference a day makes, right? We were here yesterday and it was mainly just security personnel. Now you can see what day one of the DNC looks like here in Chicago, going all the way to the gates here. The security perimeter has been extensive. Now I want to talk about the governor again. Obviously, this time slot cannot be overstated. He is leading up to the president, and I asked him about that today. Honored are you to be a speaker tonight ahead of the president?
Well, it's exciting and it's thrilling for Kentucky. I don't remember the last time that we had a governor speak at the Democratic National Convention during prime time. And it's not just me speaking tonight, it's both Hadley Duvall and myself. So we have two Kentuckians that'll be speaking to the country tonight, so pretty exciting for a Commonwealth.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear speaking to me one-on-one hours ahead of his primetime address on the biggest national stage of his political career. He'll be joined by Owensboro native and now national advocate for abortion rights, Hadley Duvall, the young woman whose personal story resonated with Kentuckians on both sides of the aisle during Beshear's re-election campaign. This issue sure to be a focus of Beshear's speech at the DNC in Chicago.
I'm going to talk about reproductive freedom and what it's meant in Kentucky to have a constitutional right torn away from girls like Hadley, and what that means for a 12-year-old in Kentucky right now that's violated and impregnated.
Beshear tells me a theme of his address will be unity. But what does that look like in a Democratic Party that has become more divided in its own right?
How do you fit in as a Democrat in the way the national party is going, more left-leaning, more progressive?
Well, I'm just me.
Beshear, described by supporters as moderate, but by opponents as more liberal than meets the eye, tells me he'll continue to lead through consensus as his national stock rises.
Do you see yourself as a moderate?
I think of myself practically in how am I moving us forward? How am I bettering everyone's lives? But I think most people see me as middle of the road.
Another thing to watch, Beshear has largely steered clear of taking stances on coal and issues like climate change.
Listen, I know climate change is real because it is. We do have to take steps to address it, but it's really important, if we believe in environmental justice, which we should, that we believe in economic justice too. So when you look at those hardworking coal miners that help build our country, they deserve jobs in the new energy economy.
Regardless, a primetime slot ahead of the sitting president is sure to be his biggest test yet on a potential future beyond Frankfurt down the line.
Isaiah, a quick question for you. You know, they don't put you in a primetime spot. These conventions don't do it unless you're a true influencer in the party. So he keeps saying, though, he has no interest in a cabinet position if Kamala Harris gets elected. So what and where is his future as a rising star in this Democratic Party?
Doug, that's the big question. I actually asked him again today. Cabinet position, D.C., he says off the table. So the question is, what is he looking for moving forward? You get a sense that 2028 was always the goal, but now even he told me he believes Kamala Harris will get elected and then reelected. So what does that mean? 2032, again, the governor is young. He's only 46 years old, and only a small group of people really know where his head's at in the years to come. Doug.